We're back with some more Red Pills of Borneo. When I was away, I was looking at the things that I've already read, and I realized I've totally missed something completely obvious. Back in over here, I think it is. It is on the boathouse. And my mother Teresa is already there. My name is Lucas Sterling. Having a first son. I was there too, and so was father. So so she says here that she was at the veranda with father and herself, I guess. So let's put that one in the veranda. Veranda here, Jeremiah. These three were all here at this time. Jeremiah Goodwill enters the veranda. Loon Goodwill and Teresa McIntyre are already there, sat facing the sea. It's about time we got here. I'm parched. My dear, what did you do while I was away? I've only been back for a few hours. Did you go thirsty there these last few days? Just start pouring already. Jeremiah Goodwill gets to the bar and starts making sundowners. Teresa McIntyre takes a pull from her purse and swallows it. It must be her Twan's dose for the day. What's a Twan's dose? Quinine was usually taken daily with the sundowner and an evening snack, as it was believed it should be taken on an empty stomach. Almost everyone in Borneo took it every day to fight off malaria. Okay. Have you seen Bone yet? I need to talk to him. We're losing the Orient. What does that even mean? Confound it, Teresa, you never listen. There is no Orient. They have no luster. It's that bloody nuisance of a crimson twirl, I tell you. I just don't understand. Who says? They all do. The Chinese Tokays are powerful and influential merchants that controlled the pearl trade in North Borneo before the war. The Bajus? Bajus are nomadic sea people who live in the waters around Borneo. They are amazing divers and experts on pearls. The blanks, they all say it. There's no Orient, so they're all worthless. All 10 tons in the warehouse. Absolute waste. The tobacco trade is drying up. 30 years ago, North Borneo became world famous for its high-quality cigar wrapper leaf. However, by the 1930s, most tobacco companies began to wind up or switch to rubber and coconut because the cigarettes becoming more fashionable and soil exhaustion. It looks like the Goodwill were behind the curve and feeling the pressure. But we were starting to really get a handle and reliably finding tons of shells, but now this. I just feel cursed at the moment. Stop bothering me with your problems. I was just humoring you before while you're pouring the drinks, but you're really starting to bore me now. I don't really care about any of this anymore. Where is Rose? Shouldn't be off spending time with your lovely new wife instead? Jeremiah Goodwin downs his drink in one gulp and slams the glass down on the bar. He pours himself another. Blast it all. You know damn well who she is and who with. I don't know what she sees in Vitalina, but they're together more often than not these days. Actually, your new friend said she was going to go up on the balcony to greet Rose after she finishes her phone call. I haven't seen Vitalina yet today. She's not my friend, she's my lady solicitor. Anyway, it's Vitalina's husband I need. Where is Bone? Darling, he's at the clubhouse, of course. It's the only place him and Dita can hide to do the you-know-what. I saw Mr. Tanaka go there now. Do you think he's also a registered smoker? Teresa McIntyre is taking a long drag from a pipe using the straw from her drink. Then she laughs. Father, look! There's a raft approaching. It's coming from that big ship anchored further up the coast. Lou Goodwill points towards the sea. Jeremiah Goodwill squints into the distance. Jeremiah Goodwill puts his drink down and pops his head inside. Kanan! Go down to the boathouse and see who that is! Don't let them land without checking them first. They watch from the railing as Lucas Sterling drops his raft and Kanan approaches them. Mother, look, he's young, like me. Darling, he's not a child. He's probably twice your age. I'm not a child, Mother, and he looks very nice. Why is Kanan being so rough with him? Teresa McIntyre takes her drink and sips it lazily, looking bored. She doesn't seem to care what's going on at all. I don't like the look of this. I'm going to the study to contact the constabulary. Right, and this is about the police. Yeah. Jeremiah Goodwill puts his drink down and heads inside. Luke Goodwill waits for her father to read, then hitches up her skirt and runs down the stairs towards the boathouse to greet the stranger. So we now know that this is Jiro Tanaka. Jiro Tanaka. Boom, Jiro, you're locked in. And now we can figure out that not only is the binoculars clearly Jiro's, we can also figure out that at the good old clubhouse games. Where's my little map? There we go. It's probably easier this way, to be honest. Though I still can't see the clubhouse. Clubhouse games, there we are. Perfect. Russet version of a London gentleman's club, complete with a billiard table, outdated copies of Punch and the Illustrated London News. There's a bar serving gin bahits. Right. And that's a gin with heavy dashes of Angostura bitters. Right. And we know that Jiro and Boone was here at the time. Right. Edward Bonfire sits alone in the dim light of the cup house. On the table before him is a jar of chandu, a small oil lamp in his pipe. Whispering, "Patience, Bone, nearly there." He dips a long steel needle into the dark paste, pulling out a pea-sized glob. Holding it over the lamp's flame, he watches the opium bubble. It rolls as the warm substance against the flat surface of the pipe bowl, shaping it into a small cone. Finally, he places the pull onto the ceramic bowl. "All right, where are my boys?" Jiro Tanaka enters the room. "Speak of the devil. Have you seen Herr Dieter? We're starting with a hit. I won't be able to think straight. Can't we just finish the job first?" "Stop worrying. It's all ready. One hit won't hurt you. Do remember I'm rigging up the stool for you as a favor. There are better things I should be getting on with. Come on, man. Stop being a bore." "Fine, one hit." "Good man. Here, take a seat." Edward Bonfire moves to the wooden bench, reclining on his side. He props his head on a hard pillow. He holds the pipe bowl over the lamp, positioning the cook pill just over the heat, careful not to touch the flame. As the opium vaporizes, releasing a sweet aroma, Edward Bonfire takes a long pull. He holds it, his eyes closing in ecstasy. He scrapes the charcoal-like dross from the bowl. Dross is the charcoal-like toxic residue left after smoking opium. It's often scraped out and remixed with fresh opium or consumed by addicts who can't afford refined chandu. Right, okay. From the bowl, mixes it with a fresh jar of chandu. "Waste not, one not." He hands the pipe to Jiro Tanaka. Jiro Tanaka mimics the ritual, inhaling deeply. A look of profound relaxation washes over him. So we know that Jiro and Edward are still here, but maybe... Oh no, Dita joins them later. "Jiro, do you still regret getting pushed into this?" Quiet. Minutes passed in silence. A tentative knock on the door echoes through the haze. A servant peeks in. "Tuan Bone? Tuan Basar is asking for you. He is waiting in the library. That's the main master, right? Yeah. Edward Bonfire groans, shielding his eyes from the outside light. Tell him I am indisposed." "He said it is urgent, Tuan, about the pearls." "All right, tell him I am coming." The servant bows and retreats. So maybe Jiro's just here by himself? Yeah. Jiro Tanaka is alone in the clubhouse. He sits on the bench, rubbing his temples, trying to shake off the last of the drug. "Shimada, my head, stupid idea. Stupid idea." He stands up unsteadily and moves to the drinks cabinet. He pours himself a glass of water, splashing some on his face. "Right, pull yourself together, Jiro. Focus." He looks at the corner of the room where a collection of copper pipes and the pressure cooker are piled up. "If I don't get this bloody stool working, Tuan Bone will never let me hear the end of it." Jiro Tanaka rolls up his sleeves, picks up a wrench, and approaches the master distillery equipment. Edward Bonfire and Dieter von Guttrum can be heard laughing just outside the door. So now the three come in. So... and Jiro is here as well. Dieter von Guttrum is waving a bottle of cornbrand around in the air. "Aha! The Master Craftsman at work. How goes the enterprise, Jiro?" "It's coming along. Just finishing the condenser coil." The setup is a marvel of improvisation. A large pressure cooker sits atop a gas burner connected to a water-killed bucket acting as a condenser. "Wunderbar! Looks strictly scientific." "It's crude but effective. Poured it in." Dieter von Guttrum pours the clay spirit into the pressure cooker. Jiro Tanaka seals the lid and ignites the burner. They watch in anticipation. Slowly, a few clear drops drip from the copper tube into a jar. Is that it? A trickle? We'll be here all night. Distillation takes time, fine bone. You can't rush physics. Nonsense! More heat, more pressure equals more speed. Edward Bonfire reaches for the gas dial. No! Don't touch that! Just a tad more. Edward Bonfire cranks the phone. The cooker begins to shudder violently. Get down! The lid blows off with a deafening roar, filling the room with steam and alcohol vapor. And then they're here again. And they run out. And explode. We also know here that maybe we can use the binoculars. Oh no, we know that Canaan runs as well. Dita von Guttram, Edward, and Jeremiah Lucas, all 5 of them. Jeremiah, Goodwill, and Lucas Sterling burst into the clubhouse, expecting the worst. Instead of carnage, they found Dita von Guttram, Edward Bonfire, and Jiro Tanaka bent over double, roaring with laughter. The room smelled strongly of alcohol and singed hair. What in thunder is going on here? We thought the blank kid finally landed. Oh, Jerry, not quite on board, just a minor technical difficulty. Yeah, a hitch! Grosse Gott, what a bang! I told you the pressure was too high, Mr. Bonfire. I told you. Explain yourselves, and be quick about it. Well, you see, Vitalina was complaining that she missed her vodka, and Dita here had all this cornbread lying around. So Mr. Bonfire instructed me to rig up a still to distill it, to give it a bit more kick. A surprise for the fair Vitalina. It was a marvelous surprise, very loud. You could have leveled the Belly Clubhouse. You could have burned us all to a cinder. Details, details. Everyone is intact. And look. Wood Bonfire holds up a small glass of Care Fixture. May manage to save a solitary tot for the lady. Jeremiah Goodwill sighs, attention leaving her shoulders. He shakes his head, suppressing a grin. You're all stark raising mad, the lot of you. I think I'm going to fit in here just fine. When you've calmed down and made yourself presentable, dinner will be served. You may all join us in the dining room. Jiro, you can join us too if you wish. It's the least I can do for my friends here, dragging you into their folly. I thank you most kindly, sir. I'm very grateful for your generosity. Canaan finally scrambles at the scene. You're a tad late to the party, my good man. What on earth keeps you? I crave your pardon, Tuan Bassar. I was all the other way on the other side of the plantation, by the jungle entrance. What happened? Is everyone all right? Everything is ship-shape, Canaan, as you were, old chap. Everyone leaves towards the dining room, leaving Canaan standing alone and puzzled by what he witnessed. I shall return to my round, shall I? So we know that Canaan was alone at the jungle entrance, perhaps here? Apparently not. But we know as well now that we've figured out before, we can put him in again. So we know that he was at the study talking to Canaan here. Sojiro and Canaan. Oh, not Edward though. Get out of here, Edward. Yeah. Canaan enters. Jiro Tanaka peeks in, not believing what he's seeing. You see, I don't know who to turn to. I don't know who to trust. Jiro Tanaka checks for a pulse. None. He sees the empty blue vial and pockets it, terrified. He places his own opium pipe on the floor next to the victim's palm. Accident. It has to look like an accident. It's better this way. We can say it was in evidence. Bonfire knows about the affair. He'll hang me. Stop worrying, Jiro. I'll take care of it. Canaan places up the rotary telephone. Speaks in language I don't understand. Oh, damn, I don't speak Malay or Dalek or whatever language it is. I'll need to try and transfer what is being said phonetically and reach out to Armand in Oxford. He should be able to translate it for me. Now I need to concentrate and listen closely. Continue speaking. Canaan puts the phone down. They're on their way. You should go. What do we tell the others? What about Loon? She'll be dissipated. Little Mem is stronger than you think, and she has us. I'll go see Teresa. That's where I will be if you need to find me. What are you talking about? You can't do that. Forget it. It's 2 in the morning. Just go to bed and don't let anyone see you. Jiro Tanaka takes off his cap and wipes the sweat and tears from his face. All right, yes, you're all right. I'll wait for the reinforcements here. You go. Jiro Tanaka walks out, his route back to the quarters taking him past the veranda. Right, so Jiro's at the veranda at this time. Just by himself? No. But we know that he must have been in Teresa's room at midnight when we heard Teresa and Jiro having some fun, which I'm sure they're doing. Teresa McIntyre dragged Jiro Tanaka into the room, kissing him hungrily. Finally, I thought the night would never end. Teresa, are you sure no one saw us? Tawandita. Forget him. He is evil is what I've learned tonight. I don't want to talk about him and his schemes. She pushes him onto the bed. I miss you. God me, help me, I have. Their embrace is desperate, primal. Teresa McIntyre cries out. The passionate lovemaking carries on for quite a while, their body drenched with sweat in the oppressive heat. And then because we know that Twan's Jiro's away now, but maybe just Teresa on her own. Maybe we can find out through his opium pipe, because we know that he hasn't put the opium pipe down as of yet. So the opium pipe is Jiro's as well. So let's use that here and see if we can find out who exactly is here. Yoink and yoink. Yes. Teresa McIntyre freezes. Jiro Tanaka scrambles to cover himself. Fun, goodwill. Jiro Tanaka looks at Teresa McIntyre, then at the door. He starts to dress, his face pale. I have to go. Teresa, if it's life or death, I know Kanan, he won't be saying this lightly. Let me go see what it is. Right, so we need Kanan, Teresa, and Jiro. Right. Jiro? Men? Go away, Kanan. I apologize, madame, but I do know what the Jiro is with you. I require his assistance immediately. It consists of Twan. Twan Goodwill? Ignore him, Jiro. It is a matter of life and death. Jiro Tanaka looks at Teresa McIntyre, then at the door. He starts to dress, his face pale. I have to go, Teresa. You're leaving? For him? If it's life or death, I know Kanan. He will not be saying this lightly. Let me go see what it is. Go then. Run to your Twan. Wow, Teresa, wow. Bastards. Every single one of them. The room is frightfully hot. She wipes sweat from her forehead. I can't breathe in here. It's like a tomb. She hastily pulls on a light dress, abandoning her undergarments in the heat. I need air, and a gin to calm my nerves. She leaves her room, heading towards the veranda. So at the veranda here, because this is roughly when Jiro so we know that Teresa is here. Teresa McIntyre sits alone on the wicker chair, deep in thoughts, a glass of gin in her hand. Jiro Tanaka hurries along the veranda, intending to pass by, but stops when he sees her. He hesitates, torn between duty and emotion. He takes a breath to compose himself, but a sob throws him. Teresa! What is it now, Jiro? Another calamity to keep us from our stolen hours? It's Twan. It's Twan Goodwill. What has he done this time that could be worse than selling us off to pirates? He's dead, Teresa. Teresa McIntyre freezes. The gas trembles in her hands. Don't be ridiculous. Men like him don't just die. We found him in the study. He was gone. Jiro Tanaka pulls the empty blue vial from his pocket, his hand shaking. I found this near him. Teresa McIntyre stares at the empty blue vial, then up at Jiro Tanaka. Her face is pale, mouth slightly agape. Dead? Truly and finally? I hated him. I despised him. But I loved him. God help me, I loved him more than anything. Suddenly, shouts erupt from the garden. Torches flare in the darkness, followed by the crack of gunfire. They watch in shock as the clubhouse erupts into flames. The world is emptying. Did you know? No, I'm no traitor. Teresa McIntyre pours another measure of gin, her hands surprisingly steady now. She downs it in one gulp. She stands up and grabs Jiro Tanaka, pulling him close. She kisses him, a desperate, passionate kiss. You are a good man, Jiro Tanaka. You need to find yourself a good woman, someone who isn't broken, before it's too late. I have a good woman right here. A genuine smile sprays across Teresa McIntyre's face. A strong shot rings out and Jiro Tanaka falls to the floor, dead. Teresa McIntyre stares down aghast. Jiro Tanaka's blood all over her death. She screams. So Tanaka is dead now, but Teresa is here on her own. Well, let's have a look at the opium pipe. Or maybe the blue vial, because we know that that was also at this scene. Okay. Well, we might figure that out later. Let's figure out more about where Jiro was in certain times. Because we know that the Jiro was somewhere else, and we also know that in this study, we can use the blue vial to figure out what happened here. Jeremiah Goodwill sits down in his chair. He picks up the glass. That doesn't taste like. I feel awful. Petrosky, what have you done? Is that just Jeremiah? Yeah. Yeah, he tastes his twine's dose. Right. I feel awful. He tries to stand up, but his balance is gone. He falls down hard on the rug. Grasping for air, he spots the empty blue vial under the chair. He picks it up, staring at it in horror. Petrosky, what have you done? The empty blue vial slips through his fingers as he dies there on the study floor. A shadow is in the corridor, watching in horror at the screen unfolding. Bosmois! Jerry, do be a sport and wake up! This can't be happening. This wasn't the plan. Vidalina Prokofsky flees, her stifled sobs echoing through the house as she runs. After what feels like an eternity, Kana walks into the study and discovers the body. In shock, he stumbles back and quickly runs to get help. So is it just Jeremiah here in the study on his own as well? We can probably have a look at here. The study is deathly quiet. Vidalina Prokofsky steals into the room, placing the tincture bottle she recovered from the master bedroom and a glass of water upon the mahogany side table. Hopefully thinks Aisha bought it from his quarters. Vidalina Prokofsky starts. The empty blue vial she was clutching slips through her fingers. Oh no! Vidalina Prokofsky freezes, unable to retrieve the vial from with Jeremiah Goodwill watching. I crave your pardon, Jeremiah. I was just on my way to Bones' room. It's the stock of the evening. I think I need to lie down. Vidalina Prokofsky glares frighteningly at the armchair, then turns and hurries out of the room. So Vidalina and Jeremiah were both there. Alright, well, we'll just put Vidalina then, because she was the main person here. Yeah. Yeah, but... Who's there? Vidalina? Vidalina... right. Which is Jeremiah Goodwill in the coffee corridor inside. Vidalina Prokofsky fuses, unable to retrieve the vial with Jeremiah Goodwill watching. Whatever are you doing in here? You look positively ghost-ridden. I crave your pardon, Jeremiah. I was just on my way to Bones' room. Why are you all of a quiver? Your hands are shaking like a leaf. It's the shock of the evening. I think I need to lie down. Quite. Well, I shan't detain you. Vidalina Prokofsky glances frighteningly at the armchair, then hurries out of the room. Singular woman. Positively run. What happened after this? Because we know that lots of people left, right? So I'm going to guess that nothing happens here as well. Okay, so something happened here. Was this where Loon and Kanan were together looking for the Mim? No. But we do know that something happened here. Maybe let's have a look at the opium pipe, eh? No, nothing. Nothing here. Not a singular pill, nothing. Let's figure out where... Oh, dining room. That's the one that I wanted to do as well. Because now is basically every single person that we know is at the dining room. Every single person here is at the dining room. Yes. The dining room is crowded. The air is thick with smoke and the smell of roasted pork. I want to welcome an unusual guest to our little gathering. I must admit I was very suspicious of the young man when he arrived, but one can see the true character of a man in his actions. I must say I was pleasantly surprised by the way he reacted to our little incident. I can see his heart by how he protected Loon Goodwill, and gumption with how he didn't hesitate to run to the clubhouse. Of course it turned out to be a false alarm, but he did not know that at the time. Jeremiah Goodwill picks up his glass. Anyway, I just wanted to give a toast to the young man and welcome him to the plantation. To Lucas, cheers! Cheers, Mr. Goodwill. Thank you. I feel very welcome and honoured. Jeremiah Goodwill sits back down and first turns to Cynthia Seville. I hope we have made you feel welcome so far, Miss Seville. Oh yes, everyone has been wonderfully welcoming. Thank you. And did you manage to reach out to your colleagues to let them know you've arrived safely? I let the operator send out a telegram. I believe that will be good enough. Splendid. Let's enjoy the evening then. Cheers. Jeremiah Goodwill turns to Jiro Tanaka. Jiro, sorry about Bone and Herr von Guttram. Don't feel obliged to help them in their harebrained scheme next time. They can be quite persistent and persuasive. Don't think on it, sir. It was my own errors that led to the incident. I'll be more careful next time. Further down, Lucas Sterling is flanked by Edward Bonfire and Dieter von Guttram. So, Mr. Sterling, what exactly is bringing you to this side of the world? Pardon me for bringing this Berlin, but you look like a new chum, and only an old hand will be sailing these dangerous seas as anything but a passenger. Believe me, sir, I am quite an old hand here, despite appearances. Lucas Sterling rolls up his sleeve and straightens his arm. His hand is trembling. I don't like to admit it, but I have the tremors. Too much quinine. Pointed towards the woman. If we weren't in such lovely, quiet company, I would show you my jungle shin. Edward Bonfire laughs a hearty laugh and slaps Lucas Sterling hard on the back, sending him flying forward. Good man, good man. I'm impressed you managed to keep the cellar away, I must say. Cellar is a term used to describe the yellowish shin that develops in the face and hands of Europeans who contracted malaria. It is a sign of chronic illness. Not for the lack of trying. I've faced malaria quite a lot. Just been lucky. Either that or my liver is made of steel. When Bonfire laughs again. No such luck here. My liver is described. Tidak apa is life. Tidak apa is Malay for it doesn't matter. Ah, he's cute. He's speaking Malay. That's nice. I was in the Navy myself, you know. Lucas, you'll like that story. Uncle Bone was a hero. Is he? I was in the Stunning. 1926. The Stunning was a steamship that was hijacked by pirates in 1926. The Stunning? The officers took that ship back with boiling water and fire axes. Edward Bonfire rolls up his sleeve to reveal a nasty skull scar. Boiling water, yes. We did what we had to do. Lucas Sterling nods, a grin respect forming. Do you know what happened in 27? The Royal Navy cleared out of Bias Bay. Most of the fishermen were guilty of piracy or not were massacred in the area. I was but a midshipman on the HMS Hermes. It was my first posting. Bias Bay is a hidden cove by the east of Guangdong. It served as a pirate republic during the piracy golden age. Right, okay. I'm learning a lot now. I'm learning a lot. I'm getting educated. I heard about the 27 operation. That must have been a sight. Lucas, you're a hero too. I knew it. In the corner, Teresa McIntyre sweats quietly, nursing a drink. Dieter von Guttram leans over to her. This social dinner reminds me of the old days, Teresa. Before the Great War, where the German plantations reigned supreme. Dieter, what are you going to tell them? Not so loud, they'll hear you. They deserve to know. Keeping what you showed me on the lawn earlier secret is indefensible. I would have thought you of all people would understand. Why should I tell them? Let's change the subject. I can feel others starting to listen in. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Across the table, Rose Goodwill and Vitalina Procossi are pouring wine for Cynthia Civil. Drink, darling. It will help you relax. The spirits cannot speak of the vessel as tense. Tell us about your travels. It must be so exciting to be a lady solicitor in the city. Oh, it's mostly paperwork, but the journey here from Sandakan was eventful. I'm sorry to interrupt, Miss Seville. Did you say you came all the way from Sandakan? Why, yes, on the straight steamship. You sailed 20 hours from Sandakan to Taiwan, plus the fire-infested waters of the Sulu Sea, for a lady that was remarkably intrepid, or positively foolhardy. Cynthia Seville blushes under her scrutiny. I was under Jeremiah's protection, naturally. His legal affairs required my attention, and I consider it merely a matter of duty. I visited Sandakan with my father on several occasions. It is a grand place. I've never seen such a spectacle of a harbour. With all due respect, Loon, Sandakan wears a very different face depending on whether one frequents the governor's set or not. The set boasts more millionaires than any other city on earth, but the gilding is quite thin. There's a great deal of squalor once you leave the cliffside bungalows. Gilding is like gold. Lucas is correct, though I shouldn't change a thing. I should never have met my intended otherwise. Your intended? You're spoken for, then? Yes, I'm due to be married when I return to the city. I've only been away for 48 hours, and I confess I miss him dreadfully. Rose Goodwill turns to Vitalina Procossi and smiles. I'll drink to that. To the lovers! There's something happening suddenly. A loud crash and gasp as someone uses interest. Their aura is very strong but also very dark. I do not know them. Who is it? Yes, you do. You do know who it is. It's Ludwig Hera. A hush falls over the room as the doors fly open. A tall white man, Ludwig Hera, strides in. Two rough-looking locals are standing outside the room, guarding the door. He is heavily armed. Sorry to crash the party, folks. Don't mind me. Lucas Starling is about to stand up, but Jiro Tanaka puts his hand on his shoulder. Don't. This is Hero. You do not want to mess with him. Trust me. What are you doing here? How did you get in? Where is Kanan? Sit down, Jeremiah Goodwill. Kanan is not coming. What do you do with him? He had best be alive. Your guard dog is taking a nap, but he's fine. One of your young servants is tending to him. I'm just here for what's mine. You missed the deadline, Jeremiah Goodwill. I only just got back from Sandakan. I need more time. I don't care about your excuses. Ludwig Hera walks over to Rose Goodwill and Cynthia Seville. Excuse my intrusion, ladies. I wish we could have met under better circumstances, but your man here doesn't pay his debts. Rose Goodwill growls at him. Cynthia Seville just looks down. Ludwig Hera pulls out a cigarette. He pats his pockets. Anyone got a light? Jeremiah Goodwill hesitates and reaches into his pocket and pulls out a lighter. He flicks it open and offers the flame. Ludwig Hera. Thank you. Ludwig Hera takes the lighter from Jeremiah Goodwill's hand. He turns it over, admiring the gold plating. Nice piece. Solid. I'll take this as a down payment. He slips the lighter into his own pocket. I want my money soon, Jeremiah Goodwill, or I burn this whole place to the ground. My apologies for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen. Please resume the festivities. Ludwig Hera turns the matches out, his laughter trailing behind him. What a creepy guy. Creepy guy. After an uncomfortable minute of silence, Teresa McIntyre walks up to Jeremiah Goodwill and slaps his hand. What have you done, you silly, silly man? Teresa McIntyre storms off, followed by Dita von Guttram. Jiro Tanaka feels out of place and tries to stink away quietly towards the library. Edward Bonfire joins him. Let's get a drink, Jiro. My too. Loon Goodwill starts crying and runs out of the room. Loon, come back. It's alright. It's over. They rush out towards Loon's room. Rose Goodwill and Cynthia Seville watch them go. Rose Goodwill turns towards Jeremiah Goodwill and laughs. Now you've gone and done it, haven't you? I can't wait until they come back and murder us all. I'm sure Cynthia, Vidalina, and I will be the last to die. These men were looking at us as though they meant to devour us whole. Girls, the heat is getting to me. Let's go to the deck to refresh. I'll get the coffees and teas brought up. I'm afraid I'm in need of Miss Savelle's company. We want me to find a way out of the mess, this mess that is. Rose Goodwill says at Jeremiah Goodwill harshly. Enjoy your company, Jeremiah. I'll see you in the morning. Do not come to the bedroom later. I will not wish to be woken up. Come, Vidalina. Let's go. So, we've got a whole bunch of information here. So, firstly, we know that on the balcony, what's it called? The observation deck. Right after this time is unfocus, open focus. All of these people are gone. But we do know that there's Vidalina and Rose. Rose, I must confess something. I was in your room earlier. In my quarters? Whatever for? I saw the letter, the one left upon your vanity. Rose, were you really? Were you planning to end it all? Rose Goodwill looks away, staring out at the empty death of the silly sea. She lets out a jagged little laugh. It was merely a passing fancy. Passing fancy? One does not pen a valediction in a passing fancy. It is a cry for help. I suppose it was. I've been desolate, Vitalina. Simply desolate. Jiro was away for what felt like an eternity, and then I heard she was arriving. The thought of here with him is the black dog on my back. I got into a positively frightful state. So you worded those words merely to give him a fright? I wanted him to find it. I wanted him to find me, perhaps in this very precipice, or perhaps merely the note. I wanted him to worry, to panic. I thought, if he thought he might lose me, really lose me, he might fight for us. He might try to save this hollow sham we call a marriage. But I would never have gone through it. I've not the fortitude for it. Or perhaps I'm not that restless. Rose Goodwill sighs and rests her forehead on Vitalina Procossi's soldier. Men like Jeremiah, they do not say things, my dear. They only acquire them. I know, but a girl can dream, can't she? And it turns out I was wrong about Cynthia. She's not so bad after all. Did you truly invite her into her own bedchamber? I really just thought it would really infuriate him, but a spite test in the evening. Rose, you're monstrously wicked. I must confess something else. Do pray go on. I must beg your leave and take my departure. I have certain private affairs that require my attention. How flatly mysterious. Run alone then, darling. I shall be here a bit longer. I do suspect Cynthia will be a while before she concludes her business with Jerry. I'll join her in the master bedroom soon with a nightcap. Maybe I can get more gossip about Jerry from her. I'll see you soon at breakfast. Sleep well, my dear. Right, so then Rose goes to sleep in the master bedroom, but then does a whole bunch of this stuff. Let us go to La Lune's room. Because we know that La Lune's room, there's Lucas and Lune here at this moment. Lune Goodwill floats onto her bed, burying her face in the pillows. Lucas Sterling sits on the edge, keeping a respectful distance. Lune, please, it's over now. They're gone. I'll be back. I know they will. And Father is powerless to stop them. She sits up, wiping her eyes. But you can stop them, can't you? I know who you are. I know your secret. I haven't the foggiest notion what you mean. You don't have to keep up the charade with me. I've known since I saw you on the beach. You're my brother. You've come back from England. Lucas Sterling blinks, the tension draining out of him, replaced by confusion. Your brother? You've come to take me away, to take me back to London, just as I've dreamed for 10 years. You came to rescue me from this jungle. Lucas Sterling sighs, running a hand through his hair. He looks at her with a mixture of pity and sadness. Lune, listen to me very carefully. I'm not your brother. You're not, but you're right about one thing. I do have a secret. You must swear in your life to keep it. I swear! I'm an agent of British intelligence. A spy, like in the novels. I was sent to investigate Japanese military movements in the South China Sea. That green mist isn't natural. It's a chemical weapon. My crew was massacred by pirates. We were intercepted by a Japanese destroyer. They caught us red-handed with evidence of their chests. Oh my heavens! I managed to salvage a sample of the agent. I hid it in the wash house at the guest house, along with my service revolver. I need to retrieve them. Between the pirates and the blanks, I must be armed to protect you and the sample. You will save us? I shall do my utmost. Now stay here and bolt the door. Try to get some sleep. I can't sleep now. I'm coming with you. Lucas Sterling nods and hints for the door. Lune Goodwill in tow. This is where they go to the guest house, right? And get the stuff back. Now, we also learned something from the dining room that the boys were going to go to the library. So we know that Jiro and Edward are at the library right about now. And that's everything in the library. Perfect. The library is dimly lit, smelling of old paper and stale smoke. Edward Bonfire is wrestling with the lock of a grass-flinted cabinet. Confound it! Jerry always did keep the good stuff under lock and key. With the clubhouse looking at it, though it's taken a full broadside, we don't have much else to drink. Edward Bonfire produces a small knife from his belt and jams it into the mechanism. With a sharp crack, the wood gives way. Open sesame. Grabs a bottle of scotch and 2 glasses, pouring a shot for them both. You really shouldn't have done that, Twine Bonfire. Twine Goodwill will be positively livid. Jerry has bigger fish to fry tonight. Besides, the man's in my debt, whether he cares to admit it or not. To surviving the night, eh? And to keeping our heads on our shoulders. Do you think they'll come back, the pirates? Harrow? He's a shark. He's got the scent of blood in the water. He'll circle until he gets what he wants. I've seen his ilk before, in 26. Men who think they can take what they want. You saw off with them, though, didn't you? We gave him a scrap. That's a crucial distinction. Jerry, he fancies he can negotiate a settlement. You can't parley with a shark on sun. You have to punch it squarely in the snout. Jerry Tanaka downs a drink quickly and sits the glass down. I really must beg your leave, Mr. Bonfire. Decamping is so soon. The bottle is still full. I have to. Well, I must see a man about a dog, as they say. Edward Bonfire pauses, knowing grin smearing across his face. A dog, is it? Or a bitch in heat, perhaps? I, I'm not sure I don't follow your meaning, sir. Oh, don't play the innocent with me, my old boy. I've got eyes. Off you go then. Mum's the word. My lips are sealed, tighter than a clam. Thank you, Mr. Bonfire. Jiro Tanaka skittles in the room. Edward Bonfire empties his glass quickly and sits it down. Right, where is the party at now? I can't be the only one who still needs a stiff drink after tonight's event. Edward Bonfire hears a friend's voice coming from the veranda and goes to investigate. So in the veranda, after this, is either Edward and perhaps Dita. And perhaps Jeremiah. No, Jeremiah's Dita at this stage, right? Oh no. Jeremiah Goodwill and Edward Bonfire are in the veranda, chuckling as they pour themselves into the round. I need to remember when Jeremiah dies. Did you see the look on that young pup's face? Utterly terrified by a rabble of Sulu devils. You can't judge him too harshly, Jerry. He fancies himself a touch of governor, but he hasn't got the metal for this rock. Ah, soft as butter, the lot of them. They have the iron in their blood we had in our day, eh, Bone? Indeed, my mind's been wandering back to 15 tonight in the Rundum business. Rundum Rebellion of 1915 was the last major uprising of the Murut people against the British North Borneo Chartered Company, sparked by the company's tax policies and forced labour. The Muruts, famous for their blowpipes or simptans, built intricate underground forts in the dense jungles of the interior. For young colonial officers, fighting an invisible enemy on their own turf was a terrifying experience. I can imagine it was. Sounds nasty for sure. Trekking through that godforsaken Murut company for weeks, wet rot in your boots and the constant dread of a poisoned dart in your neck. The silence was the killer. You never heard the Sampatan, just the sound of the darts finding the men marching beside you. And those underground forts were chasing ghosts in the mud, outmatched in the deep jungle by an enemy we couldn't even see. But we held the line, didn't we? We always held the line. We did, Jerry, we did. I'm finally rather weary, old boy. I think the excitement has taken out of me. Don't know if I have what it takes these days. I'm not the man I once was, Bone. I'm the fortitude for another scrap. I truly fancied tobacco was a forever trade. Never expected the world to take to those wretched cigarettes and render our cigar leaf quite obsolete. And we always had the shell, didn't we? Mother of pearl was meant to be the bedrock and then it simply vanished from beneath our feet. Jeremiah Goodwill looks out into the night. Fine black suit, the ash from the torched oil fields to the south begins to rain down from the sky. And then there's the war. I'm tired, my friend. So tired. Going to retire to the study. Try to clear the cobwebs. I'll finish my glass hair. Keep an eye out for any further uninvited guests. Good man. Jeremiah Goodwill claps Edward Bonfire on the soldier and heads inside the study. Edward Bonfire, he hangs around for a bit longer, watching the sky as the black suit begins to fall. He then turns his head towards the back of the plantation and sees a strange orange glow in the distance. What in the hell? Edward Bonfire grabs a croquet mallet from behind the bar and heads towards the source of glow. I wonder if this is the Jeremiah's croquet mallet. Let's put it as Jeremiah's. No. Is it because it's in the bar? Well, maybe we'll just try the person that picks it up. Right, it's Edward's. Now, the key to the passageway seems to belong to the religious person, right? And this is where, at the croquet lawn, Edward goes crazy and starts to fight people with guns. Clubhouse, perhaps? Where did it say that the glow was coming from? Was it here? Right. Let me have a look. It said Jiro and heads towards the source of the glow. He then heads turns his head towards the back of the plantation. So if we go to our map here, where's the back of the plantation? Like the jungle entrance, perhaps? Does he head to the jungle and entrance? No. He finds a key to the passageway and pockets it. I wonder who this is. Maybe it's Jiro or Dita. And Ludwig. Because we haven't figured out what these two are doing here. A key to the passageway. Final report. Right. To Mr. Goodwill, I've concluded my investigation into the events at Goodwill Plantation. The truth is stranger than the official report suggested. Your father, Jeremiah, did pass away that night. It was not the Japanese who killed him, nor was it the curse of the pearls or the green mist. It was desperation and misguided occultist beliefs. However, a life-changing news for you. Your sister Loon did not perish in the fires at the colonial record state. My visions show her escaping the island on a boat with her father's second wife, Rose, and a man named Lucas Sterling. They made it to safety. She could be alive, Mr. Goodwill. They were attempting to escape back to England under a new identity. They chose to leave that life behind, and I want to believe she survived. I hope you find her, Delphine. Well, we won't complete our investigation yet, but perhaps we will soon. The opium pipe. What we also know, I'm going to go back and have a look at some things for a second. So no one's in the boathouse here, right? No, someone's in the boathouse now. But we haven't got anyone at the moment. So Bones room. This is an interesting one. Need to find when Bone was in this room. Was it Vitalina at the chapel early on? Yes, but we know that she was talking to the Twan, and we haven't got that information. Yeah, the shaman. Not the master. Blah blah blah. The shaman. Shaman bows. And what happens here? Right, we don't know because we haven't got the superior officer name or information as of yet. What else? Yeah, we know that Ludwig kills someone here. And it's someone that's holding the thingamajig as well. Dita, do you want to serve a sundowner? Please, Dita, I just need a friend to talk to. Right. Bone and Jeremiah, right. Jerry and Bone's an idiot. This red swirl, right. I remember. It's not a curse. So no one should be at the croquet lawn here or here either. Just to make sure though, I'm gonna put it here, yeah. Now, where else? We must muster the other to the Sidway as a... Oh, and then Ludwig Harrow comes into the thing here. We know that Ludwig is also holding the lighter. Ludwig Harrow, Dieter von Gutfreman, and Wood Vampire emerge onto the croquet lawn alongside with Captain Ludwig Harrow's crew of pirates. Ambush, fall back, do it! Okay, let's clear all three of them in that case. Ludwig Harrow, right, okay, there we go, perfect. They're armed with pistols, bays, and burning torches. Edward Bonfire is still wielding the croquet mallet. Wait, I think you see Beta there, holding it into the house. Quiet! A crack of gunfire erupts through the darkness near the beach path. Two of the pirate crew fall, cut down instantly. Verdammt! They are here! Clutching his shoulder as a bullet grazes him. Firing blooded into the dark. Ambush! Fall back! We need a diversion. The blanks will outrun us if we try to make a stand here. The still is in the clubhouse. It's a power keg waiting to blow. You want to blow up the alcohol? It'll create enough chaos to cover our retreat. We need to get to the main house and gather the others. Do it! The wood bonfire and bearers men hurl their torches on the factory of the clubhouse. The dry roof ignites instantly. Run! To the study! They sprint towards the main house as the flames began to engulf the clubhouse. Devon Guttram noticed Teresa McIntyre in the veranda and splits off from the rest of the group. Okay, so in the study, we know that here is Ludwig Caro, but not Dita von Guttram. Edward Bunfire and Ludwig Caro side of the study. They stop at the sight of Jeremiah Goodwill's body on the floor. Jerry? Edward Bonfire falls to his knee, dropping the chloroquine barrel, checking his friend. He looks up, confused and devastated. He's dead. The good hero looks at a Jack Harrell. A comedy of errors. I came to collect the debt of blood, and I find everyone is doing my work for me. Stop it! Have you no respect? Respect is for the living, Englishman. The dead do not care. Edward Bonfire stands up, furious, and paces to the window. We missed the others. Where could they be? He freezes. Through the glass, he sees Vitalina Progressi and Cynthia Civil running towards the burning clubhouse. No, Vitalina! No! As he watches, the clubhouse explodes in a ball of fire. Vita! Edward Bonfire scrambles towards the door. Ludwig Hera grabs his arm. Let her go. The place is swarming with Japanese. It is suicide. Get your hands off me. She's down there. Edward Bonfire breaks free and sprints to the room, running towards the inferno. Ludwig Barrow watches him go, shaking his head. He looks around the silent room. He walks to the desk, takes a cigar from the box, and lights up the lighter he pulls from his pocket. He takes a long drag, then leans down and tucks the lighter into Jeremiah Goodwill's breast pocket. I believe this is yours. Ludwig Hera turns and walks out into the night, vanishing into the shadows. His aura leaves the plantation. This was the last time Ludwig Hera was here. He cannot be found after this anymore. And we know here as well in the veranda, there is Dita von Guttram and Teresa. Apparently not. And because here he sees, Dita sees Teresa on the veranda and is like, yo, I'll see it. But Jiro's here as well? Oh no, Jiro dies. Right. Perhaps Loon. And Kanan, because they were looking for them. Dita von Guttram steps into the veranda, his face twisted in a rictus of hate. He levels a smoking pistol at Teresa McIntyre. The help? You would not have me, but you would spread your legs for the help? For a blank, no less? With everything that is going on? Shiro staring at Jiro Tanaka's body, numb with shock. You killed them. Whore! Dita von Guttram advancing on her, raising the gun. Mother! When Goodwill screams tears through the night, Dita von Guttram spins around distracted. Kanan raises his rifle without hesitation and shoots. Dita von Guttram looks incredulous as blood starts to pour down his face, a dark hole appearing in his forehead. He collapses over the veranda railing, dead before he hits the ground. A massive explosion rocks the estate, the ground shaking beneath their feet. The clubhouse is gone. We have to move, now! Still staring at Jiro Tanaka. Jiro! He is gone, ma'am, but Luna's here and she needs you. Mother, please! The clubhouse is destroyed. Our route is gone. We must go through the kitchen window and sneak round the back to the boathouse. It is our only chance. Looking at her daughter, slowly coming back to the reality. Yes, of course. Follow me, stay low. And then we know in the kitchen we've already got that. And then they go to the boathouse after their kitchen visit. Did we grab that? I'm not sure. So, boathouse has... And where does Kanan go after the kitchen. Does he die or? Right, Kanan does die, yeah. Right. Blood pooling on the tiles, right. Uh, the boathouse. We know that something happens here. In Bone's room, we know that something happens. Where is a bone not visible? Because wherever Bone is not visible, we know that Bone's probably in his room. Nope, he is not here. Is he perhaps here? Nope. Bone was never in his room because he died after this point. Chapel. Right, we know that one already. Clubhouse. Oh. Yeah, so this time period, no one is in the clubhouse. But someone is in the clubhouse. Who would be in the clubhouse and why? We know that the alcohol was in the clubhouse. We also need to figure out who had the thing. What happens in the kitchen? Right. This is where Ludwig finds a person with the key, kills him, and takes the thing. But we don't know who has the key right now. And I think that the key is probably with the person that owns the church. But again, we can't see him. And we don't have a guest that we can name, right? And we don't know where he goes between the jungle entrance. Tonight the Goodwill plantation falls, and then he might go to like the... Does he go here? No. Does it come to the croquet lawn? No. Perhaps he comes to the clubhouse games. The secret penitent, right. And then this is where Vitalina dies. What I'm going to do is I will pause my recording and I'm just going to read these reads and then I'll be back. Alrighty, see you soon. Alrighty, I figured out something. So this is in the veranda. It is at 11 o'clock. Theresa McIntyre and Dita von Guttram are seated on the wicker chairs, drinks in hand. Dita, you must tell them, Jeremiah and Bone, they're chasing shadows with this cursed nonsense. I will tell them nothing, my dear. But why? It's so cruel. Why should I save Jeremiah's empire when I'm poised to inherit it? Inherited it? What are you talking about? The Brook Rajas were making their move. With their company weak in the war coming, they're expanding their influences. And I have facilitated their entry. You were working with them? And the pirates. Captain Hero is a blunt instrument, yes, but effective. Clears the board so that we may set the pieces anew. You helped the pirates? The men who attacked us? How could you? I did it for us, for you. I know you, Teresa. You have expensive taste, but you will not overlook twice at a penniless blank. But a blank who owns a Goodwill plantation, that is a different matter. Join me, be my wife. We can do this together. You utter arrogant idiot. Teresa, do you think I care about the money? Do you think I care about this blasted plantation? You put pirates to our doorstep. You have endangered Loon. Loon will be safe, I have assurances. Assurances for pirates from land grabbers? I don't give a damn what happened to Jeremiah. Or to me. To you, for that matter. We can all rot in hell for our sins. But if a single hair on my daughter's head is harmed, I will kill you myself, Dita. A tap on the glass of the veranda window startles them. What was that? I have to go. Stay away from me and stay off from my daughter. Marisa McIntyre steals off, leaving Dietrich von Guttram alone with his drink. Jeremiah Goodwill and Edward Bonfire can be heard coming this way from inside the house. Dietrich von Guttram sits his drink down and makes a swift exit through the outside door. So if we go back and have a look at the map now, we know that I have to go. Oh yeah, so that's her going to see him to go. So from the veranda, where would he be going? Perhaps to the observation deck, but we know that he didn't do that. Maybe he goes to the boathouse. Dieter von Guttram, eh? We know he's outside somewhere. And we know that he's working with the pirates, so it could actually be meeting with Ludwig at the jungle entrance. But, yeah. Let's have a look at the timeline. The inventory. And see if the key to the passageway fits with Dita. No. The other thing that I found very quickly was that in the clubhouse here... No, not the clubhouse. Sorry, in the... Where was it? I think it was roof. No. It was somewhere. Jungle entrance? No. Clubhouse? Nope. Chapel? Nope. Bones? Room? Nope. Boathouse? Nope. Secluded beach, secret compartment. Study, I think. Yes, study. This one here. There is one lighter that we can do, and we can find that the superior officer finds a gold-plated gold-plated lighter here. So we know that he finds lighter at this stage. Maybe we can look at the lighter here as well, because we know that the workers, the superior officers, did something at some stage in a room. But we just don't know where exactly it is. Though I don't want to really click on each of these just so that you're not bored. So I might go back to reading for a second and then just re-record when I find something else. Or I might cut this out. What? Nothing belongs to Bone, does it? Let's have a look at the inventory again and just do the same thing that we did to keep the passageway. I don't think that this will actually react to anyone because I think I know who it is. And I'm pretty sure it's the, what's his name? The priest? But you know what? My other thought was that someone's like pretending to be a priest to get information out of people. But yeah. Oh, Jeremiah has a key to the passageway. A key to unlock. Oh, right. This is actually the key to from the secret causeway, right? This one. So we can probably look at the keys. The shaman is rummaging through some caves in the darkness of the secret companionway. Where is it? They said the rations will be served here. The shaman strokes a match to light a candle. The sudden flare illuminates the shaman's face and reflects it in an old mirror on the wall. For a split second, a ghost image of the shaman's startled expression hangs in the air. Good lord, that flash, that image in the mirror. It was faint, but the fine psychic imprint is undeniable. The sheer intensity of the flashlight of mark on the ether is strong enough. This is anchor I can track in. I can feel his movements through the plantation now. Okay, finally we can say who this shaman is. Oh, the shaman's startled expression hangs in the air. The shaman is seated on a crate, eating rations for him. Finally, peace. Let's see what the spirits have stored up with this visit. Shaman makes his way out of his hiding place discreetly. So we know that the guests, the shaman, Babalan Atu, perfect, and he's already even named. So that's Babalan Atu here, and We also know that Babalan Atu was in the chapel with the Vidlina this morning. A small... Oh, that's the full chapel. A small dilapidated chapel sits at the edge of the plantation. Vidalina Prokofsky stands before the altar, twisting her handkerchief. Babalan Atu, an old wiser man dressed in traditional Bayou garb, emerges from below the altar. Have you finally answered, Babalan? My husband really believes in you. Please tell me you can help. It is not the land that is sick, Mem Prokofsky, it is the master. Jeremiah? But how? A dark shadow clings to him, a spirit of greed and despair. It bleeds into everything he touches. The pearls, they are but tears of the inflicted sea. Can it be stopped? Can you lift it? I cannot, but the spirits of the deep offer a bargain. Bubbling Atu pulls a small blue vial from his rose. It glows faintly in the dim light. This water is blessed by the sea spirits. It will cleanse the soda from his soul. He must drink of it. One draught and the curse will lift. The pearls will clear. Are you certain? It looks dangerous. The cure for the soul is often bitter to the tongue. Trust in the old ways, Memporowski. Give a note to him tonight before the moon rises. Right. So where does he go after the secret passage? He goes to... Does it actually say? Makes his way out of the hiding place. Well, we know that the secret passageway goes to the clubhouse, right? So perhaps, but he... And it also goes to the library. And we also know that he was in the jungle and he got killed by Ludwig Harrow right here. Harrow, believe it! This cannot be the design the Raja has intended. The plantation will be utterly worthless if we put it to the torch. Ludwig Harrow turns slowly. He laughs. The Raja? I'm in the pocket of the Triads, you witless simpleton. They don't care about the plantation. They just want to take over the oyster farm. The oysters, but the pearls, they are worthless. The pearls are tainted. You're just as much of an idiot as the rest of them. There's nothing wrong with the pearls. Bone is too cheap to buy new closures. He's using the old iron ones from the 20s. They're rusting in the water and staining the pearls. That red swirl is nothing but common corrosion bleeding into the nacre. It's pathetic, really. Rust? It's just rust? Bubblenato sits back as he realizes the mistake he's made in running up here. You're with the Triads? He tries to back away, but the other pirates are surrounding him in the gloom. Please, I? Ludwig Harrow just nods. The pirates rush Bubblenato. Bubblenato falls, stabbed to death by a dozen swords. So we know that between here, Bubblenato is doing some sneaky stuff. So we just need to figure out where Bubblenato is going with the key and why. So the secret companionway, he might still be in over here. Nope, never mind. The secret companionway does go to the places. We know it does. There's a lot of stuff that Bubblenato can't do when he's dead. I'm guessing. And more importantly, we know what's happening in the clubhouse. There we go. Bubblenato steps out from behind the panel into the ruined clubhouse. He surveys the smoking debris, but his attention is caught by movement on the lawn outside. Armed men. What the hell? He spoke to a familiar face, barking orders. Harrow, what is he doing here? The Rajas cannot be aware of this. Why go in the trouble of getting Jeremiah poisoned quietly to avoid suspicion only to send this brute? It makes no sense unless Harrow is double crossing the Rajas, I'm sure of it. Bubblenato retreats back into the dark shadows to watch, and so he's still here. Bubblenato continues to watch from his vantage point. He sees Ludwig Harrow and his men move towards the railway. Moments later, frames are up along the tracks. Madness! The tobacco fields are right there. The season has been dry. Everything will burn. The entire plantation will be consumed. This is not what the Rajas would have wanted. What is going on here? Realizing the danger, Bubblenato breaks cover. He rushes towards the spreading fire. So Bubblenato is at the railway now? Prior to his death, yeah. The heat is intense as Bubblenato arrives at the railway. The fire is always spreading fast, consuming the dying grass all around. It spots Ludwig Harrow heading back to the jungle, a torch still in his hand. You fool, you bloodthirsty fool. Why are you destroying everything? Anger replaces fear. Bobblinato steps out of the smoke and heads in Ludwig Harrow's direction. And we know that Ludwig Harrow... Oh, the boathouse is where bloody the thing goes. So Bubble and Harrow is in the boathouse, right. Bubble and Antu stands on the jury of the boathouse, shielding his eye from the sun. He checks the bindings of a small wooden raft bobbing in the water. Curious, where did you come from? He looks out to sea and spots a shape on the horizon. Lucas's boat. A launch? Anchored so far out, this is all very clear. He makes a decision. Bubble and Antu moors to the raft and begins to paddle out towards the launch. So he is at the Lucas's boat right here. Bubble and Antu climbs onto the deck of the Lucas's boat from the raft. The scene is grisly. Several Japanese soldiers and Royal Navy officers lie dead on the beach, on the deck. What the hell happened here? He steps over a fallen sailor and finds a report, Project Mist report, clutched in his hand. Buccaneer glances at it, his eyes widening. He pockets the report. I must return. Don't think I'll find much else here. He climbs back down to the raft and pedals back towards the boathouse. And in the boathouse, we got the more Bubble and Antu mysteries. Aha, there we go. Bubble and Antu secures the raft to the jetty. An explosion echoes from the direction of the clubhouse. He watches the smoke billows into the sky and tiny figures greater than panic running into the building. Utter chaos. They run like headless chickens, even that full Kanan, the so-called head jugger. The bunker lies straight to the clubhouse for the package. They'll be too busy running to watch the shadows. And can make it there, take a look around and remain undetected. So he goes into the secret companionway from here. So we know that Babylon was in here at this stage as well. Right. Okay. Bubble it onto navigates the concrete bunker and enters the secret companionway package. The air is stale and the tunnel is very narrow. So tight. He presses on, the wolf closing in with every step. Finally, he reaches the end. He locates the hidden latch. With a soft click, he slides over the panel that leads into the clubhouse. There we go. So that is the story of Babylon Atu. Alrighty, let's go to inventory and look at this note now. Project Mist. Intelligence report. Subject the Mist. Origin unconfirmed. Suspected chemical trial by IJN unit off the coast. Rapid necrosis of marine life, mild hallucinations in humans in small doses. Death from longer exposure. Caution. Conclusion. The Mist is a weapons test. Sample has been acquired. Closed document. So that didn't give us too much information, but a little bit of information. We still don't know what's happening in Bones' room. Still don't know what's happening in the clubhouse at this stage. And we got no Babylon Atu right here, right? Dita, are you in the clubhouse at the moment? Nope. What about now, Dita? Yeah, fine. Yep. Probably no one's... Well, someone must be in the clubhouse at the remaining of the day. We can have a quick log. While I'm doing this... I'm going to guess that no one's here at this stage, right? Someone is apparently here, but Ludwig moves out. Oh no, it's Ludwig and perhaps someone. Dita? Maybe Edward? The wet bonfire stares at the body in Dita von Guttrum's arms. He recoils in horror. Is that Aisha? She's gone, Bone. What happened? How? There is no time, Bone. The Japanese are landing on the beach. The blanks, hey? An entire invasion force. Destroyer, landing craft, dozens of them. We have to warn others. We have to get everyone inland. But Aisha, we just can't leave her. A deep voice booms from the shadows of the tree. Here's the right, old man. There is no time for mourning. Ludwig Harris steps into the light, flanked by two of his men. Edward Bonfire tenses, raising the croquet murder. Easy. I'm not your enemy. Not anymore. You torched the stream engine. You trapped us here. I cut off the escape route of a coward. I did not know the wolf was already at the door. It looks at Aisha's body, a figure of regret in her eyes. I'm sorry about the girl, truly. She fought like a tigress. She deserved a warrior's death, not this. It was self-defense. My men, they're jumpy. Self-defense? She was a servant girl. She had a knife at my throat before I knew she was there. She had spirit. But arguing will not bring her back. My men and I, we can help you fight, or at least help you escape. Why should we trust you? Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And because if the Japanese take this island, there'll be no place left for free men. Edward Bonfire looks from Ludwig to Dieter von Guttrum and back to the burning steamer. Fine. But if you cross us, Harrow, save your threats for the Japs. The Englishmen, you're going to need them. Oh no. They all head towards the house through the lawn and past the clubhouse. Right, this is where they are at the clubhouse fighting the Japanese. Again, a lot of jungle entrance stuff that we have not got yet. Railway. Is this where Ludwig Harrow does stuff? What I might do is just see what's grey and what's not, and then I'll go back from there. So I'll see. And I'm back. It was actually very fast. Dieter von Guttrum steps out of the sand onto the beach. He stops short as he sees the motionless figure of Aisha sprawled on the beach. I should have actually known this because we just saw that Dieter von Guttrum find Aisha. Aisha! No, no, no! He rushes to her and checks for a pulse but finds none. Black soot starts raining down from the sky. Ash is straining his face and clothes as he nails beside Aisha, incredulous of what is happening. Verdammt! This wasn't supposed to happen! He looks around widely, scanning the dark horizon. Where is the launch? Where is the signal flare? A roaring sound from behind makes him spin around. Behind the ridge, fire consumes the railway carriages. Orange glow illuminates the skin eerily. They're pinning us in. The boat was never coming and now the steam engine is gone. He looks at Aisha, then looks out to the sea. The Rajas aren't distracting us. We are not partners. We are loose ends. I've been paid for a fool. Dieter von Guttrum sinks to the hand, head in his hands. And we know that Edward Bonfire meets him. But maybe not now. So let's put him just here by himself. Dieter von Guttrum, still kneeling, spots a light on the ocean. He jumps up, waving his arms frantically. Over here! Over here! The light grows brighter, then another appears, and another. A whole line of them. Dieter von Guttrum stops waving. The silhouette of a massive iron hull looms out of the mist. It's the Blanks! He hears the churning of engines and the splash of landing craft hitting the water. Invasion! Not extraction, invasion! He looks down at Aisha. With a grunt of effort, he scoops Aisha's lifeless body into his arms. Dieter von Guttrum turns his back on the incoming fleet and runs towards the cover of the jungle. Okay. Edward, what are you doing? Nothing? Oh, Luna and Lucas. Teresa. Weren't they in the study here? Or were they were doing something, right? I feel like I do know that they were somewhere at some stage. Over there in Boone's room. Alrighty, I will again start recording, and I'll be back if I find something. Alrighty, I did find two things. I know that Cynthia is still alive, so I've been just trying her and various and she's in the jungle entrance right here. Sylvia Seville makes her way through the bushes to find Aisha's body. Lying there, he drops her couch beside the girl. She reaches out and closes Aisha's eyes shut. Poor girl, you're a long way from the kitchen. I wonder what you're doing all the way up here, my dear. As she stands, Cynthia Seville gets a glimpse of an unusual colour further down the brush. What's this then? Cynthia Seville pushes the fruit glasses out of the way and finds Bubble and Auntie's body is slumped against a tree trunk. She pats the body and finds the mist report tucked in his trousers. She takes a quick glance at it. Well, that's a spot of luck. Maybe not everything was a total washout after all. She slides the report under her shirt and gently picks Aisha's lifeless body in her arms. Time to say my final goodbyes. As Cynthia Seville makes her way down the hill, a group of men lie by a posing figure who is in the background arriving on a steam train. We can have a look at that. I'll just move myself slightly so you can see. There's a little blue thing right here down the bottom. So I might just leave myself up there for a second. this blue thing is actually the lighter. Because we know that the superior officer was holding that. I know we do Cynthia here, she does nothing. So, yeah. A superior officer and his lieutenant arrived by the perimeter flanks. They're greeted there by a man and his escort of Tuan warriors in traditional loincloths, planted in tattoos and armed with modern rifles and ancient curved swords. The superior officer says, Dear Raja, we didn't expect to see the Sarawak this far north. This is chartered company land. What brings you over the border? We've repelled the first wave, sir. The Navy has the coast and the watchful eye, and the mist is dissipating. It's a bit hairy, but we're holding the line. You can't be serious. Are you trying to just march in here and take over company property? In the middle of a war, sir? You're not here to protect anything. You're here for your own interests. A superior officer and his lieutenant walk back towards the plantation. The man's a ghost from the 19th century, still trying to outmaneuver the Admiralty. We don't need any more bloodshed, and we know the island is lost. There's no sense in squabbling over cinders. Let him take over the plantation and its ghost. It will be a short-lived victory by the time the Blanks have regained their second wind and returned in force. Also notice that Bones' room? Just nothing. Nothing in the entire timeline. Terrible. So we've done everything up to the jungle entrance now. We've only got the railway left. And the study veranda's workers' quarters. So I will see you when I've had a look at these. Alrighty, I'm back. So I've just been gone through all of the little timelines here, and wherever we've got like a little gap like this is something that we can try. So let's try it would here in the railway. A wood bonfire arranges at the railway. He stops in his track, his mouth agape. Bloody hell! The wooden carriages are engulfed in flames. The heat is intense, even from where he stands. The tracks are twisted and blackened. Harrow's handiwork, no doubt about it. He's torched the only way out. The wood bonfire runs towards the water traveler, carrying a bucket. He throws water onto the nearest carriage, but the fire roars back with a redoubled fury. It's no use. It's too far gone. He throws the bucket down in frustration. I have to go warn Jerry and the others. He turns to leave but spots movement near the jungle entrance. A figure is emerging from the tree line from the direction of the secluded beach, carrying something heavy in his arms. Who goes there? He squints through the smoke. It's Dita Van Guttram, stumbling under the weight of a limp body. Dita? Edward Bonfire rushes towards him. I didn't actually see this one down here. But let's try. Okay, no, never mind. The other one that we have is the study, which is, we already know. We know that it's just a superior officer stealing the thing. We got the veranda, where we've got 2 times. One here and one here. Again, it's superior officer times. And we got one here, where there could be Lucas, or Loon, or both, that we're here. Yes. Lucas Sterling shoves handfuls of ammunition into a canvas bag. He slings 3 rifles over his shoulder and hands 2 more to Loon Goodwill. Take these. Can you shoot? I think so. Father taught me. Good. Aim for the center of the mass. Don't hesitate. We need to find your father. He can help us figure out the best way to get everyone out of here. He'll be in the study. Stay close to me, Loon. Whatever happens, do not lose my sight. They burst out of the quarters and sprint towards the main house. And we've got something out here as well. Don't know what it is. It's not Cynthia. So again, the thing is, something has stirred in my mind's eye. I should check it out. Aha, there we go. Let's concentrate, shall we? Ooh. What are we figuring out? The web of memories is complete. I can feel the resonance strengthening. It's pulling me beyond the island. The survivors, Lucas, Loon, and Rose, I can see their path. They didn't just escape, they endured a long, harrowing journey back to England. I've unlocked a new pathway. It maps their return voyage. I can now follow them across the sea. Well, I want to follow the path, obviously. The Sul Sea, up into England. The open water beyond Borneo and the mainland. And we know that is these 3, but not Samir. The sea is calm. Oh, okay. The remaining hours hold no secrets. But the deck of the launch is slick with blood. Rose Goodwill is in a cabin with a bucket of water and a somewhat clean rag cleaning up Loon Goodwill, who has finally stopped crying. There now, Loon, you're looking quite yourself again. Though I'm sure I don't know what's to be done with your hair. It's probably unruly. It matters not, just leave it be. I only wish to curl up and sleep forever. Though I am frightfully peckish and find I'm pining for Aisha's kachang and the kurapok. I'll give anything for a savory right now. I too, my dear, I too. Ladies, I shall require your assistance on deck shortly. And Rose, I found the scissors you requested. And for you, I managed to forage some salt beef and a few ship's biscuits. Come, young lady, we can't be choosy. Loongood will reluctantly accept ration and begins to chew the livery beef with a look of grim resignation. Rosegood will use the scissors and begins to hack at the hem of her silk gown, shortening the Parisian refinery into something more suitable for a life at sea. They step out into the bed to face the rotting bodies. Liquid story drags the body of a British sailor to the rail. Loongoodwill and Rosegoodwill struggle with the dead weight of an Imperial Japanese soldier. Oh wait, don't just heave them over. Get their belts, boots, timepieces, and anything else of value on them. Lucas is positively ghoulish. Their survival, Loon. We have nothing, no coins, no credentials, and the world is on fire. I must say, this is a rather rum way to spring the wheat before Christmas. The blank will have a yen, perhaps even a bit of bullion. The sailors may have a few sovereigns or Straits dollars in their pockets. And sidearms too. We traded all for clothes, food, and passage to Europe when we were at Singapore in a couple of days. Second but resigned, they stripped the dead of their valuables before committing them to the deep. We got Singapore as a location. And I'm imagining the three are also in Singapore. They arrive in Singapore and the place is in chaos. Air raid sirens are wailing. People can be heard discussing that HMS Prince of Wales and Repulse having been sunk by the Japanese air raid days ago. Everyone is panicking. Loon Goodwill and Rose Goodwill are huddled together on Collier Quay, watching the last of the green ships leaving the harbour. Collier Quay is a bustling area in Singapore. It is a hub for trades and commerce. The seats are alive with shops and markets. They're still wearing their clothes from days ago. They've tried to clean them and restore them as best they can, but they look like they've been through hell. Lucas Sterling comes through the crowd, sets of clean second-hand clothes in hand. There you are. It's so crowded here. Everyone is scrambling. This was the last ship. I've heard there will be no more now that the Japanese are here. What are we going to do? Lucas, I'm scared. The crowd is crushing us. Don't worry, I have a plan. I still have the biohazard sample. I should be able to get a hearing with the Colonial Secretariat. The civil servants managing the government on behalf of the governor. In 1941 Singapore, it was the final authority for exit visas, travel permits, and emergency funds for refugees. They'll provide us with papers and passage on a tramp steamer. Tramp steamer was a inglorious workhorse of the South China Sea, a merchantman that wandered from port to port in search of leftover cargo to sell. For now, I found you a room at the shop house for a couple of Straits dollars. The shop houses were two-story terrace houses with shops on the ground floor and living spaces above. By 1941, these buildings had become labyrinths of small interior cubicles surrounded by thin plywood partitions, crammed as many refugees waiting for a way out as possible. It's not much, but it will give you a chance to clean and rest up. What about you? I shall stay downstairs, so I won't be far if you need me. The historian has Rose Goodwill this close. I'm sorry, this is all I can find. I hope they fit. Don't apologize. You've done so much already. Nods. Go rest. We have a long day ahead of us in the morning. And I've got a long day ahead of me in the morning, so I'm going to end the episode here. But again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one where we finish this game off. See you!